welcome. Some breaking news coming in from Nepal, where a plane carrying about 72 persons crashed in Pokhara this morning. That's what Yeti Airlines has said. This was a Yeti Airlines plane. There were 68 passengers on board, also 4 crew members on the plane. There you can see the wreckage and the smoke billowing from the wreckage of that plane crash. What has been said by the spokesperson told news agencies, we don't know right now if there are any survivors. You can see those images and videos that have been pasted on social media that are being shared of the smoke billowing from the crash site. Many locals have also gathered there, and rescuers are attempting to pull bodies from the wreckage, according to what is being told to the local news agencies. Rescue operations are underway. The airport is closed for the time being. To talk more about what happened, we're joined by Maha now on the phone line. And Maha, we believe 10 bodies have been recovered. You could tell us what happened.
Well, as of now, the details of what exactly have happened are very, very sketchy. Gargi, as you can imagine, they are at the moment busy with the rescue operation. The airport has been shut is what are the details coming in. It was a flight which had 72 people on board, which included 4 crew members, sorry. Now this stretch, Gargi, we have seen unfortunately accidents on this stretch even in the past. What we are learning here that this was a Kathmandu to Pokhara flight. Kathmandu to Pokhara takes about 30 minutes on the flight, and 20 minutes after takeoff, this crash was reported. If you remember last year or year before, in fact, there was an accident that took place in May of 2021 as well. Now, during that time, again, the flight had taken off from Pokhara. This was, in May last year. Flight had taken off from Pokhara for Jawan, and it had crashed. This was a Tara airplane that had crashed about 8 to 9 minutes after takeoff from Pokhara. At that time, the preliminary inquiry suggested that the weather was bad and therefore the crash took place. This stretch, unfortunately, is one that has seen a lot of tragedy. Last year, when that crash had happened, that was supposed to be the 7th crash in the Pokhara-Jawan route. Now, this crash today has happened between the Kathmandu and Pokhara route, but close to Pokhara, at least that's what it appears to be like, because the flight was already 20 minutes after it had taken off that this information came in. As of now, there are no official indications of what aspects they are looking at, whether it was bad weather or any other aspect that they are investigating. For now, we know that rescue operations are underway. The airport has been shut for the time being, and the rescue team has been deployed at the crash site on a helicopter. In fact, as the Kathmandu Post is reporting, that they are trying to look if there are any survivors there. As of now, there are very different and differing details coming in of the number of bodies that have been found. But we know that this was an ATR aircraft belonging to Yeti Airlines that crashed around 11 a.m. on this morning.
That's right, Maha, and hoping against hope that they do manage to pull out some survivors there. So far, the news is that some 10 bodies have been pulled out, and lots of videos being shared on social media. You can see people being pulled out of the plane as well. Maha, as you were telling us, this plane was coming from Kathmandu to Pokhara, and it crashed on landing, or we're not very sure right now what's happening. It crashed on the runway?
Well, yes, some in fact details coming in are suggesting that while landing, this crash has taken place. The flight had taken off from Kathmandu about 20 minutes before the crash was reported, and the stretch, as I was pointing out, itself is not more than 30 minutes. So it would be very close to Pokhara. We are yet to get exact details, but the fact that the airport has been shut down for the time being does in fact give us some indication that this could be around that area. It is possible that it was landing and then the crash happened, but those details seem to be differing at this point in time. While some reports are suggesting that the crash has taken place on the runway, others are not reporting that. So it will be difficult to take a guess on the exact location, but the details coming in suggest that immediately the rescue operation has been put in motion, that this was an ATR aircraft belonging to the Yeti Airlines, that there were 72 people on board, out of which there were 4 crew members, so 68 passengers plus 4 crew members, and that the crash took place 20 minutes after it took off from Kathmandu for Pokhara. It's very unfortunate that this sort of a crash with so many people on board has taken place. As I was pointing out, Gargi, in the past as well, this stretch unfortunately has been accidents, crashes in the past as well, and a couple of times bad weather has been blamed for the crashes that have taken place. But this is it does appear that this is a difficult terrain really to navigate of sorts. There are some airports in the world, as we know, some places, including, for instance, if I can just cite an example, though it's an extremely safe landing mostly in Bhutan, but very few pilots are able to navigate these terrains or be in sync with the kind of situations that can suddenly emanate. These are mountainous areas. In some places, weather also packs up very quickly. So really the skills as well as technical know-how is very important in some of these flight navigations. Although, let me still point out that we do not know at the moment the cause of the crash. That, of course, will only happen once investigations are underway. Right now, the only details that are coming in, because it is about 1 hour to when the information of the crash came in, that the flight had taken off from Kathmandu for Pokhara, that it was about 20 minutes after flight time that this crash was reported, that there were 68 passengers on board plus 4 crew members, and that at the moment rescue operations are currently underway.